for catfish, carp, bluegill, any smaller species of fish you can catch with this. So, first one is a simple bobber rig. What you need is some kind of fishing pole. And then you're gonna tie on a swivel like this. Small swivel onto the end. With the or just a clinch knot, since it's for smaller fish. So you're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and then you run this line right here back through the loop you held in the line and tighten it down. Next, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to put your weight on. This is a 3/8 ounce weight. Once you get that put on, you want to get your pre-snailed hooks. These are size 4. What size? Aberdeen hooks. These are for bluegill and that's about it. Smaller catfish, it'll probably work on. Just bigger catfish will swallow the hooks. So get one that have they have a loop and everything, so it's really convenient to put on your swivel. So you put the swivel and you put the hook on and clip it in just like that. So you can use this on the bottom like this, like it'd be just sitting on the bottom, or you can put a bobber. This is a 2-inch foam clip float, and you have to change depths depending on like where you're fishing at. So you're fishing really shallow, you want to raise it up quite a bit. But if you're fishing a deeper place, you might even want to switch to a slip bobber rig, which I have another video on. It's the catfishing rig video. Go watch that. We have 1 viewer. Cool. So that's a simple slip bobber rig, or not slip bobber, clip-on bobber with a Aberdeen hook. Basic rig. You can catch catfish, bluegill, anything like that on it. Hi Henry Squad, thanks for watching. Remember, like and subscribe. The next rig is a rig for carp and catfish. Hi champions, thanks for watching. So the next rig is for catfish. On the bottom, you can catch carp if you use corn. Hi, Adrena Martin. I don't know if I said that right. Sorry if I didn't. So, for this one, you are going to need a bigger swivel. The swivel will probably break when fishing. So let me cut this off. Oh, another tip is have forceps for bluegill. Sometimes they get the hook deep in their mouths and you can't get them out. So, this is the bigger swivel. I'm pretty sure this is like a size 5. I'm not sure. I would have to check. But it clips right here, and it's stronger than the gold ones that I just showed you. Right here. So, same knot, except you do the improved version. And then, so same, except instead of tightening it down, you go back through, you go through this loop, and then through here. And and then tighten it down. Whoops. So sometimes if you tighten it down too much with braid, which is what I have on this one, it will snap, which you need to wet it. Or yeah, so that'll help. And then also your line also frays as you're fishing. So remember, every time you fish and it's like a rocky bottom, remember to cut probably a foot off of your line when you retie, just to make sure. And then yeah, just like that. This line goes back through here. And then, so next, what you're gonna wanna do, oh wait, okay, so I did that wrong, never mind. So before you tie that on, you need to put your weight on. This is a liner rig, or slip sinker rig. You have a 1/2 ounce egg sinker, and you push it through your line, or you put the line through it, and then you're gonna need a little bead. These are Eagle Claw. I just got them at Academy. I'm sure you can get them at Walmart, Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops, stuff like that. I would say Eagle Claw is one of the best brands for hooks because they have them pre-packaged, just like I showed y'all a minute ago. Yeah, they're pretty good. And they're fairly cheap. That pack is probably like $2. Weights are probably about $2. Bobbers, a little more. I haven't bought bobbers recently, so it could be less, could be more. This rod right here is a H2OX ice rod. It's not really the best for long distance casting, but if you're fishing at like a pond or off a kayak or something, it's pretty good. Where you don't really need much casting range. Now that we have that tied on, next what you're gonna do is, so I have some bigger hooks. I'm pretty sure these are number 2 hooks. They're bigger. They're the Baitkeeper hooks and not the Aberdeen. They're a little stronger for like bottom rigs, for like catfish, carp. So with this rig, you normally just set it in a rod holder and wait for you to get a bite. And a bite will, so your line will just go, and it'll just start flexing like that. If you want to spend a little extra money, you can get a bell like this, and they just screw on up here. So, and then also if you're fishing at night, you can put a little glow stick on it, right here. So when you get a bite, it'll go like that. With this rig, you could use worms, corn, any kind of like stink bait you buy at like a store. You could use it, yeah, really almost anything. Worms works good. Corn, I caught a catfish yesterday on corn with this rig, this exact rod and everything. I did upgrade the line to some 15-pound braid, spider wire braid, just because for more abrasion resistance against rocks and stuff when you're pond fishing. And then yeah, so these are 2 very effective rigs for catfish. Does anybody have any other rigs they would like to see me tie? Just type in the chat if you have another rig you'd like me to do. Yeah, any rigs, I can pretty much do them. If you want me to show a slip bobber rig, I can do that. I could do how to tie on just a lure. I could do a Texas rig. Texas rigs are good for bass, but these are more for like catfish, bluegill, carp, stuff like that. Any questions, anybody? In the chat, type in the chat if you have any questions. Well, okay. I'll show you how to do a slip bob rig. Okay, so for the slip bobber rig, you will need a bobber stop right here, like this. The little twine that you put on your line. They're good for deeper water, so like you're fishing 20-30 feet of water on a boat or a dock. You could just throw it out and it would sink to the bottom. So, you'll need that. You'll need the swivel again, like the one I showed you, the gold one. You'll need gold swivel. You will need the 3/8 ounce. Wait, actually no, you need a smaller weight for this one. Let's see. These are lead-free weights right here. They're Eagle Claw brand again. They're a little more expensive than lead weights, but I say they're worth it because they're just better for your body and stuff. So what you want to do for the slip bobber rig is take your bobber stop and slide it through the center. And then yeah, so this keeps the bobber from going above, like this sets your depth. So whatever depth you want this to be at, you set this right here. Next you put your swivel on. Remember, so don't just leave your line on like that. It's annoying when you have to retie. So next what you do is you put your slip bobber on. I would recommend these pink ones or a bigger, even bigger ones. Yeah, so if you want to go after like bigger fish with bigger weights, bigger baits, you have to get a bigger bobber. So say you want to go after bigger catfish, you'll have to get bigger bobbers, weights, stuff like that. Just because you're going to be using bigger baits like cut bait or even live bait, you would have to get a bigger bobber for. So once you get your little pegs on like this, make sure that your bobber has a slit in the side right here. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe yeah, right there. So that you don't need to tie. You don't need to put this on until you are done tying the rig. So put your swivel on, same knot, improved clinch knot. Yeah, so this rig's good for deeper water, or if you need to fish a lot deeper and like the fish are not shallow, you could use this rig. But sometimes the fish are just shallow and you could use the last one I showed you. So once you get your pegs on like this, you are going to take the gold hook, the Aberdeen hook, the number 4 Aberdeen hook, and put it on your swivel. And then you're going to take this lead-free weight right here. It can just mess up. You can gut hook the fish, stuff like that, which is not fun to have to deal with because most of the time they die. So after you get your everything tied on, just like this, it should look like this. You have your hook, your weight, and your swivel, to your pegs, and then to your stop right here. So what you're gonna do next is you're going to, that little slit inside your bobber, you're gonna slide the line through it, and then slide the pegs into the bobber and push them in. And then next, you're going to do the same thing on the other side. You don't need to, but it just helps. So yeah, that's a simple slip bobber rig. You can adjust the depth by moving the bobber stop up and down. You could go 20 feet, And what's nice about this is you need to trim these right here, and you can just reel it straight up into your reel and with no problems. So yeah, I'm using the spin cast, but if you're just starting out fishing, you probably don't want to use one of these. You probably want to use a push button, which is like a Zebco, which I have one over here actually. It's one of these. You just push the button and cast it out. They're a little better for beginners, and they're a little cheaper than these rods. So for beginners, that's probably a good rod. I guess I can show a big catfish rig for bigger catfish. I actually caught a 5-pound channel catfish on the 4th of July with this exact rig. Let me go get the other rod. So if you're not using, so I use chunk bait normally, which is cut up bluegill or like perch, stuff like that. Make sure it's legal to use in your area before you use it. But so this slip bobber rig or the first bobber rig would be great for catching bluegill with that rig or for a bait. I use the center gut section. It's gross, I know, to cut them up, but it's worth it. I have a simple sliding weight with a bead and a number 9 swivel to a 1 ounce weight, and then I have a really long leader. I would go a lot shorter, probably about a foot, to a 2-aught octopus circle hook right here, snelled to a leader. And this rig's good for catfish. I'm sure you can catch other things on it. You could do it with live bait. You could also add one of these pink floats right here onto this, and it will spin your bait off the bottom so the bigger fish can come up and actually eat it. I'll show you how to tie a hair rig next. So a hair rig is a European carp rig, but it's fairly good for stuff around here. So on the basic bottom rig that I just showed you a minute ago with the bead and the sliding weight, the 2 ounce, or not 2 ounce, 1/2 ounce weight is can be used for carp too. If you tie this other rig. So I have special Gamakatsu carp hooks right here. I got them at Cabela's. I'm not sure if they have them anywhere else. So the first thing you want to do, this is some 8-pound, what brand? Berkeley Trilene, big game monofilament, and you want to use it as your leader. So what you do is you pull, I don't know, probably 2 feet off. You won't use all of that, but you will, just to make it easier to tie. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to tie an overhand knot in the end. And so you will need some more special stuff. So if you're just starting out fishing, I would not recommend this rig, but if you have a little bit of experience and you want to go for bigger fish, this is probably the rig you should use. So get your overhand knot tied with a loop, just like that. You're going to want to tighten it down, and you're going to clip your tag ends. The shorter one is the one you want to clip. You don't want to clip the long one because that's a pain to have to retie. Clip that, and then you take your whatever hook. Any hook will really work. It just preference and size of the fish. So this is a number 6 Gamakatsu carp hook. It is pretty good. So what you do is you take your loop right here and you feed it through the back side of your hook, the back coming out the front. You want the line to come out the front. So what you'll need that's special about this rig is a baiting needle. Now you can, they don't really sell them in stores around here, but you can get them on Amazon for like $10. So they're a little thing, and you slide your corn onto here, and then you hook this into the loop right here. and you just slide your corn on. And so for like bigger, more scared carp, I don't know if scared's the word, but it will allow, like they can't see it as easily, and yeah, so it helps a lot doing that. So yeah, just with your baiting needle, they make different ones. I bought like this 7-pack on Amazon. So you take your hook, just like that, and you hook the loop right here, and you slide stuff on. Let me go grab some bait real quick that I can use. So these are special carp baits called boilies, and these float. These are homemade, but you can buy them on Amazon for like $10. You can get like a 2-pound bag of them. So what you do is you take your baiting needle and you stick it through the boilie. I made these not too long ago. They're fairly easy to make. I don't have a video on those right now. Catfish and Carp, if you know who that is, they have a video on how to make boilies. It's pretty easy. Like all you need is some cereal, like frosted mini wheats. Let's see, sugar, I think, and a few other ingredients. I don't remember exactly. But so with the herring, you take your hook right here and see it's on the needle. You hook that part and then pull this part down over the hair. This part right here is called the hair. And so yeah, it holds it like this. And then you can put a little twig or even some bigger monofilament. Let's see if I have any. These little things, the little plastic things from the bobber stops, they work good too. Just pull it tight. You might cut them if you have scissors. But yeah, so that's the basic hair rig. And so these float in the water like this. So the carp come up and they suck on it, and it goes, and then the weight sets the hook, and then they get hooked in the bottom lip. That's a pretty effective rig. You can use corn with that too. These are called boilies. You can use like, I don't know really. There's a lot of different baits you can use. Just look up baits for hair rigs. So you can also use, let's see. You can use a lot of different stuff. I don't remember everything. You can do this on the bottom. You could probably do it from a bobber. I'm not sure. I've never done it. Yeah, that's another good rig for carp. The next rig is a rig you can use for catfish or carp, anything on the bottom really. This is a treble hook with a spring on it, and so you can put dough bait on this part. And dough bait is normally a mixture of let's see, cornmeal, flour, oatmeal, Jello, and maybe Big Red or something like that. I have some pre-made over here. Let me grab some. This is our homemade bait. We have it in a 5-gallon bucket because we use it a lot. Yeah, the carp like that. You can use different things in it, from Big Red. You can use vanilla extract, coffee, anything like that. The caffeine actually affects the fish and makes them like drunk almost, to where they will eat your hook and they can't get enough of it. Yeah, so it's pretty effective too. Lures that I would use are right now are chatterbaits or bladed jigs. These are here. I have a weird trailer on it right now. But yeah, a chatterbait is a very good lure, effective lure right now. This part like vibrates in the water, and it like wiggles in the water, and it's very effective for bass. I'm sure you can catch other stuff on it. I don't really have any other predator fish around here. We really just have bass and catfish. But if you live more up north and you have like pike or muskie or walleye or something like that, these could probably catch those too. Um, spinnerbaits are good too. This is the Booyah Pond Magic spinnerbait. I think Midnight is the color, I'm not sure. I have one in Midnight and Chartreuse. These are like $5. They're not very expensive. Then I have some Strike King Bitsy jigs right here. These are, I think, 3/16 ounce. I don't remember. And these, you can catch bass, probably some crappie, stuff like that on them. And let's have a Gary Yamamoto Senko on the back of it. And I have 2 of those Bitsy jigs. I have a black and blue with a purple Senko, and then just a green with a green trailer like that. I also have a Booyah pad crusher or poppin' pad crusher or whatever, frog. I don't really use frogs much because I don't know, I shouldn't use them much. They're not my favorite. These bells I showed you earlier, these are, I think, Rod and Bob, whatever. They sell the glow sticks and the bells. They're good for night fishing, carp fishing. So if you're fishing on the bottom and you don't have a bobber, like you get a bite and these things just ring really loud. Yeah. So I actually 3D printed these things right here. These are hold on, sliders for weights. For catfish rigs, like what I have on my bait caster. You put a swivel or something on the bottom, and you just clip your weight, and you put a bead, like right there on your line, and then a swivel on the other side. And so that, like if you're using live bait, it allows the bait to go around, but when the catfish eats it, you can still get it pretty easily. Yeah, thank you for watching my stream. I might try to stream another time actually fishing. Just today is not a good day because of the rain and stuff. So thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe, and yeah.